Alright, so today we're going to be changing the starter in my 98 Jeep Wrangler 2.5 liter. So obviously the first thing you're going to do is disconnect the negative battery terminal. Duh. Alright, so underneath the Jeep, right here next to the oil pan, is the starter. And up here are the electrical connections that we're going to have to undo before we can remove the starter. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, so the one is a 1/2 inch, and then there's a smaller one down here that is, what did I do with that last wrench? 5/16. And you have to unbolt both those to get the power connection off, and then you can unbolt the actual starter. Alright, now that you've got those off, alright, you're going to have to undo this one and this one right here, and then the starter should come right off. Should being the key word here. Fingers crossed. Well, I had to make a trip to Lowe's to get a universal ratchet set because the bolts that are holding mine on are spline, and none of my ratchets will fit the spline except for my pass-through ratchet, which doesn't have an extension. And since one of those bolts is really high up, it's going to be nearly impossible to get to without an extension. So you might have to pick up spline sockets for your ratchet set. So unfortunately I wasn't able to film a whole lot of this because I was on my own. But once you get those two bolts out, the starter should just, you'll have to wiggle it and get it around the exhaust, but it should just come right off. And then the new one should just fit up there exactly the same way, and it's just reverse process. So it's those two bolts, and then you reconnect the new electrical connections and reconnect your battery terminal, and your car should be good to go.